try to take away my pain. Why you do it? My eyes are open and yet you think I can't see all the wrong things you have done and are still doing to me. Makes me a warrior and I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior, I am a freedom fighter. I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright. Oh no 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 no. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright. My song, your song, come on and help me sing along, people. Those lands you own and live in luxury, and you pretend you don't know they belong to me. By fraudulent means you took them away, but you better get ready for the price you have to pay. 'Cause I'm a warrior and I'm a freedom fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total said I'm a warrior. I am a freedom fighter. I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Oh yeah 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 yeah. Oh yeah. Alright. My song, your song, come on and help me sing along, people. Oh yeah. Alright. No 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 no. Wait a minute. I said wait a minute. Is everybody alright? How can everybody be alright? Think about the people starving in Ethiopia. Think about my brothers struggling for power in South Africa. The wicked oppressor keep on trying to keep them under. Tell me, Lord, how long do my people have to suffer? Oh, I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior, and I'm a fighter. Yes, I know I'm gonna have to fight on for my total freedom. Yeah, oh yeah, alright. No, 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 no.
Welcome to DouglAR Radio on U97.5 FM, hot like pepper. Now we're starting with some disturbing news out of Tobago. When I tell you all that the PNM always plays and always has played the dirtiest, most dastardly, lowest level politics possible. I have given you illustrations and told you all that I have zero respect for Keith Christopher Rowley as a human being and as a man, as a father first. Zero. Monday night virtual and tell a lie on Keith Christopher Rowley. Never, and I will never. And nothing could be so important than to concoct a lie on another human being. But Rowley and them, the PNM, that is the norm. They like China with doubles. With a little pepper, it's normal. It's like a roti and a red solo, it's normal. It's like traffic on a morning. It's normal. It's like PNM can't give nobody water. That is the normal thing. They don't just stand up and lie on people and go into gutter politics and then quickly attack everything them do. They just say other people do. When them thief, they just call everybody else thief. But when you check what they doing and the systems that they putting in place, it's designed to thief. They just go in the parliament and reduce procurement legislation. Got it? Which means reduce security on your money. They like a bank, you banking in one of them big bank, and them send out a memo to all customers. We will be downgrading our computer system. We will be reducing the number of protections that we have. We firing the contractor who keeps our information secret and private. We're going to publish all our people accounts, and we're going to allow anybody to dip into anybody's account when they feel like. Would you leave your money in that bank? No. But you have a PNM government under Keith Christopher Rowley that came into the parliament. They, instead of proclaiming the procurement legislation that was there and was strong to protect your money, they come and say, nah, that's too strong. Weaken that. Take out that. No, remove that. Miss that. Nah, not that. This one have a recusal for that. Take out that. That's what they did. And do you know they found an independent, inverted commas, senator to vote in agreement with that? Well, that's up for you all to say, you know. Would any reasonable person vote for that to make it easier to thief? Think about it. A government came. It sounds so, you know, it sounds so stupid that you all had to believe that I had to be concocting it. This cannot be real. But it happened right in front of all our faces. The government under Rowley came to the parliament and said that legislation has too many safeguards over the taxpayers' money. We want to remove those safeguards to make it easier for man to thief. And our independent senator vote for that. The one vote that they need. Right? And then we find out that where Rowley living, and Alan Warner buy and doing a development, and Rowley have company and shares with Alvin Hilaire, the central bank governor, and Newman George, and Bridget Anissa George, the speaker of the house, and other people. That land was purchased from the independent senator sister for 9 million. Coincidence? I don't know. You all judge, you know. I just giving you the facts. You all can put the facts together and formulate your own opinion. I have formulated mine. That's my business. But I giving all the facts. But not one day would I come here and tell all you a lie on Rowley. When I tell all you that Keith Rowley was a teacher in 1969 and he impregnated a girl of school age and she made a child for him named Garth Allen, and he ignored that child for most of his life until one of our ministers went to the parliament and get excited and went too emotional and give him an opportunity to come out and say, look, my son, who I'm most pleased with, when the boy was 44. You will laugh. And I tell you, I have no respect for the man. I would not even sit down and knock glass with that man. If that man in a lime, I will leave, because I feel if I drink 3 rum, something will happen that I go end up in Golden Grove, because he's a scumbucket. But not one day would I lie on him. Let me tell you, many people say, well, that was statutory rape. But I say, hold on. On the science is a very simple thing. And by calculating the gestation period of 40 weeks for a human baby, the calculation of the time of intercourse when the girl was impregnated, she would have been approximately 16 years old and 2 months. At that time, the legal age of consent for sex was 16 years. So he had broken the barrier of statutory rape if he only had sex with the girl one time and made the child by 2 months. Therefore, that was not a criminal offense at that time. Now, do you believe that a teacher in a power position should be grooming or getting pum-pum from a girl of school age? That's a totally different issue. However, I would also tell you, you see, I'm giving you pure facts. And if these weren't facts, I'm open to be sued. There's no parliament. There's no Senate. I have no privilege here. I can't just come and just talk nonsense here. I could end up in the court and have to pay Rowley if I'm lying. Now, we are big men here. Cocky's a big man. I have daughters. I have been a young boy. Sweetness is sweetness. Make you do stupid thing. Make your brain go blank. God make it so, and Cocky? Well, Lord, God make it so no matter how bright you is. When you get a sweetness there, Cocky, you could get notice. No,
It's not to speak different language.
all kind of thing. You might talk in tongues. But we all know that young ladies, especially those who have not had any sexual intercourse, they don't just have sex easy so, because they've been socialized in different ways, especially back in that day where sex was like an evil thing. You mustn't do that and it brings shame and disgrace on your family and all, right?
Yeah.
So it's a reasonable person would not believe, one, that somebody could just meet a young girl at 16 years and 2 months and on that very same occasion, first encounter, have sex with a virgin child, right? Well, above child at that time, 16 months. 16 years, 2 months, right? Because reality does not work like that. A young lady like that would be very scared, very shy, you understand? So there had to be some sort of period of confidence building, which is otherwise known as grooming. Another logical thing that man would know is, it does happen that you may make love to a lady once and she may get pregnant. It can happen. It is scientifically possible, but it is not highly probable. Many of you all know, when you're trying with your wife to make child and thing, you had to try and put she leg up in the air until she lie down there and relax, wait for the correct cycle. After, you know, 5 days, 7 days after the period finish, when the egg should be most fertile from day 11 to 14, you try to go in there many times, you know, and scatter shots. You all know the thing. Men know the thing. It is very rare, Cocky, that you make love to a woman once and she gets pregnant. Now, it could happen, but is it likely? So when you analyze all of that, you can then make your own conclusion that Keith Christopher Rowley, when he was a teacher, the facts are that he had sex with a girl of school age. She became pregnant. The calculation of the science on the birth of the boy on from his birth date minus 40 weeks, depending if he went full term and so on, it approximates to her being 16 years and 2 months. Now, that's the facts. Now, at that time, statutory rape was below 16. So you can't come and say that there was any statutory rape, because the evidence does not show. Whoever, a reasonable person may say, boy, was it only a one-hit wonder? You so good? You have Olympic sperm? Did it take grooming? Were there other times? All of that is speculation. So I don't speculate. I just come and tell all you that Keith Rowley was a teacher in a power position, and he used that power position to get pum-pum, and that is a scumbucket. See? Facts. I don't need to go more into anything, any area of speculation, no matter how reasonable it is. But not one day will I lie on Keith Rowley, even though I detest the human being. But this PNM is so nasty, disgusting from Rowley come down. They lie on everybody. Lie on Kamala. When Rowley under pressure, he just started to spew lie. But Kamala had COVID and all kind of nonsense. And it follows with Al-Rawi. When he under pressure and you see how the media ease the pressure, where the indemnity with QC Nelson, did Al-Rawi overstep his bounds by interfering with a criminal investigation and a criminal witness, which is the sole purview of the independent office of the DPP? And if he did that, is that misbehavior in public office? Where the police, where DCP Jacobs, where the investigation, where the DPP office? You see, this is why this country is a joke. This is why the bandits walking around with AR-15 now and walking around with Uzi, man showing video with Uzi, because they care about none all you. Because you all are showing them that the law is an ass. that the law is ridiculous, that there's one law for some and another law for others, and in a country like that it leads to anarchy. But the PNM is so nasty and sick. Let me give you the latest example from Tobago, and it's so disgusting. And shame on y'all, Ansel, Dennis, and all your PNM in Tobago. Shame. I cry shame on all y'all. You're sick. There's a PNM candidate called Franca, an outspoken lady, intelligent and so on. She, with reason, had some problems with the management style and the delivery of service to people by her PNM, Ansel, Dennis, and so on. So a few days ago, about 8 days ago, an audio recording goes around with her basically showing, which is the truth. She sung like she was Anil. You understand? Talking about Ansel Dennis is useless. He don't help nobody. He's a puppet. He not caring about Tobagonians. He's a joker. She disappointed in him. She here tell one lie. It's truth. And she's a PNM. Now, I don't know when that was recorded or if that went through screening, whatever, but the PNM selected her to be a candidate. Previously, right? They selected her to be a PNM candidate. But then this audio tape surfaced, attacking the hierarchy of the PNM in Tobago, and just so, Corky, yesterday afternoon, a video surface of this lady, this candidate, having a great time in a nice, lovely bikini, in a party. It looks like a private party with someone who looks like the man is her significant other. I don't know the woman, so I don't know, but it looks like that's her boyfriend, her husband, or her significant other. Right?
Yeah.
But this video is released to try and shame the woman. By who released it? She happened to bad talk the PNM. I don't believe in coincidence. She happened to bad talk Ansel Dennis and the PNM, saying that they were incompetent. The audio tape, whenever it was taped, it became public knowledge a few days ago. And all of a sudden, someone attempts to bring down the woman by posting and making public a video taken in a private lime or party. Which clearly would have been all with PNM people. Because you know them PNM just flock together. So someone, and the lady said, it is so sad that someone she thought to be her friend would do her that. And her friend, since she's a PNM, all of them was PNM. It had no UNC day. Anil wasn't in the party. In fact, if Anil was in the party, I would have asked him, hey, that your girl was? I might have wanted to take a little wine. You know? Look, let me put it this way. It is so ridiculous and disgusting that the PNM would like to try to show that. What that have to do with what the lady has to offer in politics? How she's going to do her job, how she would be as a secretary of sport, how she will fight against Shamfa and them, what that have to do with it? It just shows how low the PNM does go. So she disagree with the PNM. She, I'm talking the truth, the woman a lie. And the response by the PNM is vile, disgusting, gutter politics to try and shame the woman from a private event with her having fun and whining on she man as if that is a problem. So if there is a problem, PNM, how will you have Mr. Pum Pum Prime Minister who does whine on everybody else's wife? Since it's a problem. Why don't ask Daryl Smith what he get vexed with Rowley for? Ask Daryl Smith what Rowley do with his wife. You see, Anil not in parliament. Anil not underprivileged. I on the open airwaves. Sue me na Rowley. Sue me. What you do with Daryl Smith's wife to get him vexed? You see? But all your PNM come to tell the whole world, oh, look at this young lady having fun and whining on she man. Don't vote for she. Shaming the woman. For what? How ridiculous. how disrespectful, how nonsensical, and how sick of the PNM. That is why Tobago go vote all out. And still then is shame on you. And you look kind of sugary since you want to get Anil vexed now. Because only a Makome man, Mama Pool man would do a woman that. Only a Mama Pool man would do that. Put up a video, a woman... You understand what I'm saying, Cocky? But this is how disgusting the PNM is. Because she disagree with the PNM. And imagine that is what they do their own.
Oh gosh.
So what is left for others? When some stupid video came out a few years ago trying to say that I Shampa Cujo in some nasty video. I the first man jump out on DouglAR politics on radio and thing and say, oh, stop talking nonsense. That is not Shampa Cujo, and Shampa Cujo don't talk with no Yankee accent. Because I don't play that nasty, stupid, disrespectful, disgusting thing. When I come to talk politics and facts, it's facts. Rowley is the worst prime minister in the whole world. Rowley has a web of corruption, a systemic corruption that is stealing our money across the board. He has eliminated corporate governance. He has put only a few people in charge of the money to make sure it goes where it has to go, where it's pleasing to him. Rowley don't care about nobody. Rowley hates black people. Rowley hates all people except pinks. Rowley hates himself. As illustrated by his policy, his new society is wean yourself off the government. Everything is the government. The housing, the medicine, the roads, the drains, the water, the government. The government has no more to bear on its shoulders, so you must wean yourself off the government. He's talking to black people, Indian people, all people of Trinidad and Tobago, except his ministers who recuse themselves, including himself, 210 times for conflicts of interest, where they are benefiting from decisions made in the cabinet. That is Rowley. Rowley is the man who is on a company with Alan Warner, a big contractor who is winning and earning contracts from the government. That is Rowley's business partner. And when Munilal asked him in the parliament, he said, everybody's his friend. I's not your friend, you fool. You stupid bald-head dunce, sicko. Friend? Who want to be friend with you when you are suffering people? Crime is out of hand. No commissioner of police. Bandit running rampant over the country. Women being raped, murdered, killed all across this country. Cars being stolen and gunfighting in broad daylight. And you feel I have time to study Rowley? I glad I'm not in the parliament. I glad. Because if I had to sit down across Rowley, all you would have seen me in jail. I would have been in Golden Grove. He could tell Munilal, put on your boots and come outside. I would not wait to go outside. I'd have set a camera here and jump over the desk. I'm telling all you, because there's no game. A man say, but Anil, all you be friend and thing, all you is be pretending. I say, but use a madman, I cuss up all by the barber, I cuss him up. I say, friend, I look like I playing with all you. You know how many children are dying right now, how many people are dying, not only of COVID-19, from crime, how many people are suffering. They cannot even fund the suicide watch hotline. Surgical Life had to come and fund the hotline to save people from depression, from committing suicide. They burn down everything that Kamala put there for people. They spend more money than Kamala and nothing working. Kamala had that corporate governance across the board. One board for one person. Rowley come and put one man in charge of all your money. And then he call other people thief. You ever hear a big thief calling other people thief? And now PNM in Tobago, all you really hit rock bottom. The girl, the candidate Franca, whatever me I know she. But it's just a coincidence that a recording of her talking the truth, which is that Ansel Dennis is a waste of time, a total goat, that he is a puppet of Rowley, that Tricky Tracy could spend more on rope than to create jobs for the youth. They have done nothing for Tobago. They've implemented nothing that Terence Farrell advised them so to do. Tobago's economy has totally collapsed. Tobago's education system has collapsed. Tobago is at the bottom of the heap now, across the board with all indices of education success. And because the lady talked the truth, she talked the truth all of a sudden, she was in a P&M private party with she P&M friends, whining on she P&M man, and that she business, I don't care about that. That she man. When Rowley man whining on minister's wife, all you don't say nothing. Eh? When Rowley whining on 17-year-old girl down in South in green costume, and then she get a HDC's house, all you don't say nothing. With the sick, horny goat weed using, hey, all your women, and how much are all your women out there who know, even P&M women, all you want to know how good I know this scum bucket called Rowley. When Rowley, and they're talking to the ladies out there who have met Rowley or been at a function with Rowley, I'm asking all your ladies this. And I've heard this story from 7 different women in the last 4 years. And I heard this story in detail. And I am also a man who likes women, appreciates beauty of all types, all kinds. Like a little fitness, yes. But beauty is amazing. You could see God in beauty. You understand? However, there's a difference between respectfully appreciating beauty and being a stalker, eye rapist, a sadist. You understand? You all ladies know what I'm talking about. A man who's a gentleman could look at you in a way to let you know subtly, he finds you nice. And you may feel good quietly inside. That man finds, that gentleman finds I'm looking
and
good.
She says, thank you.
Well, you may not even say anything. You may look across a room. You could look at a lady in a glance, in a split second.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And look with such respect and reverence that in that instance, that lady realized, he find her sweet. And she feels good. You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to do nothing. Right? Man who out there know what I talking about. Right?
Yes.
Keith Christopher Rowley asked women out there who have interacted with him. When he looks at a woman, the woman feels to go and bathe with blue soap. He's one of those. You know, ladies, they are those who have no decorum, no ability to, they're just blatant. They give off a vibe of being sick, like stalker-like, creepy. That is Rowley. So when I tell you I know Rowley very well, and that, don't forget politics, forget member of parliament, forget prime minister, forget minister. And me ain't reach there. I talking about just men that operate on certain codes of conduct. Men who went boys school and think all you know what we talking about. We don't play with certain things. Right? You don't ever lie on your Casanova. You understand? Ever. There's a no. If you ain't get you, you ain't get you.
Yeah.
You understand? You don't ever leave it to pretend or infer. Oh, me, hey, boy, you see Sunita, boy, hey. No. Unfortunately, I tried, I spoke to her, and I was rejected. She did not give me her number. You have to be able to say that.
Yes,
that is one of the code. There are many other code. I ain't gonna give all your woman all the man code. But one of the code is you cannot be a sick stalker like what Rowley is. And plenty of all your women out there know it. And now the Tobago P&M has taken up that sort of gutter politics espoused by Rowley and his cohorts. So a young lady disagrees with the hierarchy of the P&M in Tobago, and their response is not to debate and say, no, Franca, I answered Dennis, I care, look at what I did. I allocated this, that. I created this creative program to get our children moving on up. I understand that at SEA we are low down, and the best child in Tobago, it never cracks the top 100. They come about 123rd in the whole country, and that's not good enough. I want to get back to the days when the number one in Tobago is the number one in Trinidad and Tobago. And in order to do that, I've instituted bonuses for my teachers. I've purchased laptops for all the children. We are creating extracurricular and homework studies. Children who do not have transportation, we are ensuring they can move around to time save so that they could study. Tell Franca that. Because when she talked the truth that Ansel Dennis, you're a total clown and you've done nothing, she a lie. And your response to that is somehow, oh my goodness, a video of the young lady having a great time at a private function with her man comes out to what? Denigrate the woman? Hard luck. We above that in this country. We not interested in that. I have people she man. You understand? And in fact, she looked very rhythmic. You know, she had rhythm. So me, I have no problem with that. When it comes to politics, I want to know what you're going to do. How you're going to stand up. How you're going to fight for your people. How you're going to serve the people. How you're going to create jobs. How you're going to push for education. How you're going to make Tobago a better place. But Tobago PNM, y'all are sick. Y'all need a fence sick. 218-7762. 218-7762. It's terrible. That's the lowest common denominator. And they go try, what are you going to blame the UNC? Is the UNC put out that video on the girl? The UNC don't nothing that stupidness. That low level gutter politics. We just fight on performance. You at 19% water, we at 74%. That's how we fight election. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Yes, hello, good evening. How are you?
Good.
Hey, I'm enjoying you, Sean. I want to tell you, I called in last week and I complained about this sleeping government, the Rip Van Winkle, right? I talk about Evans Street, the University Street in Curep. Believe it, it is paved and a white line in the middle.
Well, that is good. Talk about an next road there for me now then.
I want to tell you at the Bijukal Road, I want to tell that Minister of Works, wake up and come down there and fix it.
Bijukal Road?
Yeah.
Right. Take a note of when you say it.
Biokal.
Biokal.
Take care, okay?
Thank you for the pronunciation. Cocky, pronounce that again. Biokal.
So if you say Bokal, it's Biokal.
Biokal?
Yeah.
Pronounce it in your radio voice. Tell Rohan, say
Biokal
Honorable
Road.
Minister. Say Honorable Minister.
Honorable Minister. What's his name?
Rohan Sinanan.
Mr. Rohan Sinanan.
Yes.
Please come and fix the road. Please, in Biokal.
Thank you, Rohan. And after you fix it, resign and come out the people flipping government. All your waste of time. 218-7762. 218-7762. It's a Friday. U97.5 FM. DouglAR Radio. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, Mr. I forget your name.
That is all right. Anil will do.
All right. I want to know if you know something. I get the information. You know, so your young stepdaughter where she's staying?
I have no idea, but don't tell me on air because I don't know if what you're going to say is true. So I don't get involved in bacchanal.
Find out.
I will find out. All right.
Who's staying there from Venezuela?
All right. I will try and find out, but this show we don't go with bacchanal. All right, my brother. We just go with facts. All right. So I will go and check it out, and if you're correct, then I go bring it.
Rowley bring the president from Venezuela.
All right. God bless. Later. You're good on a Friday. All you can do that on a radio show, and it's not on that. We just talk facts. If you want to vote for we, vote for performance, issues, and policies. Good evening. Hello.
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 Yeah. Nice.
Good night.
This is our program. Very I was talking about Haiti. We went to visit now.
Went to visit what?
Haiti after the earthquake.
Uh-huh.
He was talking about this lady who was foreign them. You know, they get that money, buy 4 fishes, baby.
You're talking too soft there, not hearing you. Next time y'all talk up, please. Good evening. Hello.
Hi, good evening to Anil.
Good evening, good happy Friday evening. Talk to me.
And well, we can't leave out Mr. Corky and to
Oh,
everybody
you
out
see?
there
Hi,
who's
yes,
listening.
yes.
Good
Look how you
evening,
make
good
him
evening.
blush. Look how you make him blush. Oh, good. Watch Corky. You make Corky blush, you know.
Big blush.
Anil,
Yes,
let me
my
go
dear.
back to this man again in Parliament the last day when he talked about Kamala government was the most corrupt in the Commonwealth. I want to remind him, you say Kamala thief, all were Kamala thief, but yet still Kamala was able to make a better life for the citizens of this country. She raised the pensioners' money. She raised NIS pension, right? Not once, twice. When Kamala left office, the beneficiaries were doing well. Amber came and stopped it in 2016. He said in 19, because we used to get an automatic $100, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said in 19 we will get it back. We had an election in 2020, and up to now, Anil, he has not given us back that money. And then Rowley want to come and talk about who corrupt. When Kamala left office, 72% of the nation was receiving portable drinking water. Did Kamala thief it when she was going, and yet still she thieved so much? Did she thief it when she was leaving? Look at how much money the pensioners get from her. And Rowley did not even have the decency to give the pensioners not even one single $100. And look at how much he benefited. He and his friends, his family, his finances, everybody, but not the poor people who helped put him there. I didn't put him there, so if you don't want to give it to me, that's okay. But give it to him, give it to the people. But you see, the people who put him there, they are quite contented, Anil, to watch what it is going on and shut them out. But they were very vociferous when Kamala was there. Where Babwa and all of them? Where is Babwa and all of them? And the unions and everybody? Why are you all not talking? Well, we know the church is not going to speak out because they are getting money. But I'll never forget Archbishop Berkeley, the Anglican bishop, in 2015, that last Easter, he said, telling the people, hold on, we are getting a resurrection because we are fed up of the corruption and the nepotism and this, that, and the other. What are we seeing today? And they are all quiet. Harris was no different than Harvey. You understand? Where are their voices now? But you see, all of them, I will have to say, because Rowley accused Mrs. Prasad of bribing the churches and them when she gave them the money to help the poor. What is he doing now? The very setting that he accused Mrs. Prasad for is what Rowley is doing. And he has no shame to come and talk about Kamala stood up in Parliament and talk about Franklin Khan and Eric Williams and cast aspersion on innocent people. I know he was referring to Bash, his good friend Bash. But what about he did to a sitting Prime Minister with emails? But you see, Anil, we can't forget what is Rowley doing. And if it is, nobody else don't want to come out and talk about it. Anil, I join with you in speaking about it. Have a good night.
God bless. And remember, my people listening on U97.5 FM, it's Christmas time. Thanksgiving for the ones who celebrate in the U.S., but it's time to think about getting your toys for your little ones who've done so well in school. I cannot believe that my 7-year-old have to do maths, practical maths, mental maths, word problem maths, language arts, geography, social studies, science, spelling, vocabulary, and another subject, social studies. She now turned 7, but no big thing, she go handle it. But she will get a toy for Christmas. Santa Claus shops at Island Hobbies, and Daddy Claus also. Check out Island Hobbies on Wrightson Road, opposite Mad Montchusad, Wrightson Road, right there, just past Power Gen before the traffic lights. If you're on the eastern side, the traffic heading east, you'll see Island Hobbies on the left, the largest variety of toys in the Caribbean and South America. No one can beat the price at Island Hobbies, and if you see a toy on the net or somewhere cheaper, bring evidence and they will beat that price. Open every day till late, and Sunday to Sunday, 11 p.m. on Christmas Eve. So for late shoppers like me, you could go down to Island Hobbies on Wrightson Road. Check them out. And also, if you're in Tobago, the election is heating up in Tobago. Tobago is going to save Trinidad. It's the information on the ground coming out of Tobago is excellent because people are listening to issues, they're listening to policies, they're listening to plans and programs in Tobago. And that's what elections are about. Election is not about no football game. I put on a jersey and we win and we drink and next day I suffer. Elections determine how your life would be, how the opportunities would be. Yes, you are responsible for yourself, but a government is there to make sure that the pathway is easier. And when you're in Tobago and you're celebrating or you want a romance, and even Miss Franca, the PNM candidate, girl, you take your significant other and go down to Waves and you enjoy yourself. Order some nice food, look out at the beach down there at Grafton Beach, look out at the sunset with your loved one. Do not study those who believe in gutter politics. Miss Franca, PNM, PDP, everybody, foreigners, locals, welcome to Waves Restaurant. Go and get the lobster, the beast, the shrimp. Great prices at Waves down on Black Rock Road. To sit and dine, you must be fully vaccinated, but you can also order and pick up at Waves Restaurant and Bar. We're going to take a short break. I eat in Royal Castle on a Friday. I had to start my exercise plan, so I eat in Royal Castle because it has less grease. I ain't going in that greasy PNM one. Royal Castle, and get more pepper Royal Castle. I hear people down in Chaguana say the pepper finishing out too fast. They like the honey mustard, but they want the Royal Castle pepper.
Okay, Rudolph, make her right. Then, oh, hold on. Mrs. Claus sent a WhatsApp. The elves are hungry. Pick up a Royal Castle Queen bucket, a King bucket, some royal wings, a family meal, a few combos, some extra delicious coleslaw, crinkle-cut fries, potato salad, and a snack box for yourself. Oh, and don't forget that delicious honey mustard sauce. It's really lashing. Okay, Rudolph, let's get that delicious local Trini flavor. Royal Castle, here we come. Royal Castle is the local something that makes it all taste better. Happy holidays from Royal Castle.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Coming soon on MCTV, the local Palooza show and countdown. Hosted by TNT's rock ambassador, Bees Hi-Fi, the metal merchant. See and hear all your favorite local rock bands. Keep it rock alive, Rhythms Communications Network. Local Palooza show and countdown. Coming soon on MCTV, the local Palooza show and countdown.
Welcome back inside DouglAR Radio on U97.5 FM. And if you're heading up to the east, today wasn't so much traffic. I reached here about 35 minutes early. It's hard to figure it out, but if you're heading up east and you want to pick up some groceries at a good price, check out Fresh Street Market TT, number 3 Andrew Lane, Mausica. Call them, write down this number, 240-7612. Call them. They're open 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Monday to Saturday, and on public holidays and Sundays from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Check out, make sure that they're following all the COVID-19 protocols and sanitize, mask up, distance as much as possible. Check out Fresh Street Market in Andrew Lane off the highway. You're driving up the highway, you pass that Price Mart, you'll see a Royal Castle truck, and Fresh Street Market is just on the left off the highway. Check them out for value. Good evening.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
I am a first-time caller to you, Mr. Anna Robert,
Yeah.
and I want to say pleasant good night.
Good night.
Well, you're doing a great job, and I have been following this politics this year because I have never voted before, and I'm really considering this time. You know, I am living in the Cocorit area, and there's a lot of gunshots every night. There's sleepless nights here, and I am really wishing for a change on crime. My 2 daughters, they are brilliant. They go university. They do excellent, and I have to keep them inside all the time. I'm a single mother, and it's hard for me, but I am looking forward to voting.
What university do your daughters go to, and what are they pursuing?
No, the older one, she's going UTT, and she's doing, she did a civil engineering, and now she's doing,
wow,
this thing, renewable energy.
What fantastic, congratulations. And the other daughter?
Yeah, and the other daughter, well, she's still now, well, she's going to pursue computer engineering. So
Fantastic.
She's doing well also.
Which university she wants to go to?
She wants to go, she wants to get a scholarship. So she right now is doing
The
A's.
SAT
And
A's, and
yeah.
she wants to get a scholarship to go to the USA?
Yeah, yes, because GATE is very, very tedious these days, and thank God we did get through,
Well,
but I'm not sure for the future.
I'm
with
happy that you would like to vote, and seeing that you have said that your children's future and your children's education and crime are 2 of the most important issues on your plate, I would tell you that Kamala Prasad Visesa believes in education, and
I know
especially
she
women.
did. I have never thought it was important to vote before, but
Yes,
now I'm
now you
really
know.
seeing the writings on the wall, and
Yes,
it's really
because she puts
hard
extra.
living in this kind of community.
Yes.
Trying to move forward is very hard.
She puts
And I
extra
am
money into
looking-
GATE for your children and for all of our children. 400
And I'm looking
million
forward
extra
to
voting
seeing you on the 30th of November, right? The
Yes.
ending of this month.
in the
Yes,
savannah grass.
I'll come out there, and if I could get one of them to come with me.
That would be great,
But-
and maybe a friend. And you see,
Well-
while you may live in a political, PNM political stronghold, we have to change that. Nowhere must be strongholds. Nowhere must be strongholds for us. The UNC must not just have people voting for us just because they like UNC. They must always vote
a
for
lot of people
issues.
in my community is having a second thought now.
Well, that's
because
fantastic.
Things are things are
Exactly.
getting even worse. It's difficult here.
Well said, because politics, elections have consequences. It's not a football game, it's very serious. So you try
Yes,
to be safe. I
was
live
one of
close to
those
y'all.
who lost my work with COVID too, so
You
it's
see?
even getting hard.
So you're a
I'm-
single mother with 2 children who's studying and you lost your job?
Yes, it is.
Lord
It's
have
very
mercy.
difficult, and they are both.
Did you receive any
pursuing
grant
it.
from the government?
I did not receive
Apply?
any grants. I did not apply. Because,
Why did you not apply?
Okay, it is not that I was, the job that I was doing, right, was shipping.
Right.
But with the COVID now, the supply chain was broken with the U.S.
Yes,
the
it dried up,
biotender.
yes.
Yeah, it was dried up. It was really hard to support us in the office here. So our boss decided to cut our salaries to half.
Right.
And with that now, I decided, well, here what? It's not making sense for me to risk myself for COVID out there.
Yes,
I
for that
could stay
half
home
money.
and try to, yeah, well, I have other means, you know.
You have
still-
skills to be an entrepreneur and so on. To try
yes,
to, okay.
I have, yes, I'm working on something now.
Well,
and
that's
as soon as the place
fantastic.
lifts, yeah.
Let me
But
say I'm
that's-
very
that's
proud of you. Congratulations for being a single mother and bringing up 2 lovely, intelligent, strong daughters and protecting them. You have done a brilliant job.
Yes, it's
Fantastic.
Yeah. Up till last night, there was gunshots ringing out.
Yes.
And this is what we have to live with every time, every night.
All
It's
right.
hard.
Well, you be safe. You be safe. Corky,
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Runner Royal Castle are coming back.
Okay, Rudolph, make a right. Then, oh, hold on. Mrs. Claus sent a WhatsApp. The elves are hungry. Pick up a Royal Castle Queen bucket, a King bucket, some royal wings, a family meal, a few combos, some extra delicious coleslaw, crinkle cut fries, potato salad, and a snack box for yourself. Oh, and don't forget that delicious honey mustard sauce. It's really lashing. Okay, Rudolph, let's get that delicious local Trini flavor. Royal Castle, here we come. Royal Castle is the local something that makes it all taste better. Happy holidays from Royal Castle.
And we're back inside U97.5 FM DouglAR Radio. And at 7:10 p.m., we're going to start the discussion on the COVID-19 chaos, calamity, and collapsing of the entire health system, the total bungling of the fight against the pandemic. We will have MP for Caroni East, the Honorable Dr. Rishi Sicharan, live on the line here on DouglAR Radio, U97.5 FM. Hello. Did I hang up on you by mistake? Hello, hello.
Hello, good evening, Anil.
Good evening, El Socorro, ¿qué pasa?
Good evening, Cocky. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Yes.
Talk to we.
Well, tomorrow Arsenal versus Liverpool, 1:30. I'm back in Arsenal. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Did I hear from you?
Well, you lost by about 4. 4-1. Sorry for you.
Liverpool, I predict. But for on your end, I predict Solskjaer might get his sack tomorrow. Eh?
Well, I agree. I am a fan of Manchester United since 1977. I believe we won the FA Cup. We beat Arsenal in Wembley, and we watched that on TTT. But Solskjaer should have lost his job 6 games ago.
Of course.
When it comes to sport, me and no friend, you know. You're either good or you ain't good. You're getting big money and you're not performing. Come how the people walk.
Well, I find Rowley should follow Solskjaer out the same though. But I was gonna tell you that I remember I started supporting Arsenal in 2001 when we scored our one, when Wiltor scored our one, and we win the league title in Old Trafford. I think it was Sir Alex Ferguson, and so alright, we go see.
Yes, and you're still dreaming, and every night you go to bed and you're still dreaming about 2003, yeah? The untouchable season, the perfect season. Yeah, you're still dreaming about that. It's been a long time for you.
As you say that, Rowley and Wayne Rooney had the same cheating tactics when they like to trick and get penalty, you know? So,
oh God, don't do Rooney that now, man. Oh,
yeah. Anyway, so, the public good work November 30th, the push back, and December 12th will be there, man. Good
nice,
night.
man.
Yeah.
All right, blessings. 218-7762. 218-7762. I'm just getting this number here for the Honorable Corky to call the Member of Parliament, Dr. Rishi Sicharan. 218-7762.
Yes.
You're live on
U975.
Hey, say that. Corky, say that. Let me hear you.
You're live on U975.
Ay, Cocky. Cocky, the way you're talking there, them ladies later go want you to play a set of slows on a Friday, you know. You go ahead. Big tune, boy. 218-7762. And we believe in love, yes?
Yes.
But the PNM believe. Just bad talk them other PNM. So in PNM you cannot disagree with nobody. They start to mash you up and fling out video on you and all kind of stupidness. I don't know why. PNM, the curtail all you're going and get in Tobago, and it's going to transfer into local government. Look, they have an election. People at a protest in DB. The councillor died some months ago, 10, 11, 12, 13 months ago. And they have not had a by-election. So the people are DB down there without a representative. What Rowley and Paula Mayweek's doing, they're going to try and appoint more of Rowley friend, family, and business partner to the Police Service Commission to ensure Gary Griffith don't get a work. This country, I don't know, boy. It's a good thing I know not to cuss on the radio, you know. But this country is in dire straits. Good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening. This is Sarah Ruti.
Yes, my brother.
Anil, an excellent Kaiso program last night. I enjoyed
You
it.
enjoy that? Thank Corky too. Corky, man.
Yes,
Corky is the
yes.
man.
Well, you is the man on the shot, so you have to get the ultimate.
Yes.
Big up. Now, Anil, I want to talk about this fella. You know what? That fella, we just call him Terrence the Terrible.
Well, I just call him Convent Girl. Me, you know,
All right, okay. Well, the Terrence the Terrible who went to convent school, right? Listen to me.
No. Them girls just get vexed with me. He didn't go to convent. He would like to pretend that he bright like a convent girl to talk with an accent.
Listen, you know, his aspiration was basically to go that provided he got good O levels.
Yeah.
You know those schools they take, if you're a bright boy, they take you to do levels and things. But he couldn't make it. You understand?
Yes.
But he aspiring for that. Listen to me. I hear you crying out about the grim situation and he's talking about if it continues, there are no space for morgue. I sure they done link up with some friends and family to build more morgues and take bodies and things. But you know what? It is sad how they have given up on the COVID fight. As I was telling everybody, it is a war to fight the COVID, and you have to have your generals who are the well-trained people in your forefront. They went and rotate all the senior doctors out of the place. And those supposed to be the general in the forefront. The other thing he's saying...
Wait, pause. Pause right there.
Good.
You know what happened even worse than that? They bring out this lady, Dr. Miriam Abdul Richards, right? A while ago, 7 months ago. And as soon as Rowley see she with she mask on, he start to call she name every 40 seconds. You know he's a thirsty man, right? But anyway.
Right.
But hold on.
Okay,
And she was then, at that time, a junior doctor, but she on the NIPDEC board. She was on the Eastern Regional Health Authority board. She was on the Trinidad and Tobago Bureau of Standards, getting 3 stipend from boards as well as her salary from the PNM. Do you know them gone and put she on the Angostura board now?
But she competed with Newman George.
But that's what I'm telling you. And that is the politics they're playing with the COVID-19. And then they wonder why nobody don't trust them. Them gone and put Dr. Miriam Abdul Richards on the Angostura board. What she going to do? Inject rum in people to kill COVID?
No, one of the statements, 2 of the statements he made, I think is yesterday, saying he didn't want to be here at this time. So what that says he has failed. If you didn't want to be here, who got us here? Not you and your sidekicks.
Exactly.
The other thing he said, look where we are now. We've gone back to square one. And that is statistics like in May. So I saying, but that man had to be real dotish. If you have dotish people doing the same thing all the time, and you go get a result like this.
Yes.
Just like that, I remember telling you the memoirs of O'Halloran, that book. Look at page 65 now. You'll see how money is pilfered during construction. Look, we have deja vu all over again. Another last Alturas up in St. George. The walls and things moving. You understand? These people are sick of them. Sick. But we cannot afford to lose our citizens. And I don't know why they don't be honest to themselves and say they can't handle it and move aside and give competent people to look after all these COVID patients. Go on, Anil.
Blessings. That's what we're going to ask Dr. Richie Sitcharan that just now, because we're going to call him now. Corky, you dial. And remember, while Corky's dialing, check out Island Hobbies on Wrighton Road for the best prices for toys this Christmas for your children. All sorts of toys for all ages, from newborn straight up to 17 years old. Bikes, skateboard, computers, remote control cars. Best prices across the board. Check out Island Hobbies. And up in the east to your grocery, check out Fresh Street Market, just off Andrew Lane off the highway, past Price Mart, turn left at the Royal Castle Truck, and check out Fresh Street Market TT for best prices. What I said? Breast or chicken, chicken breast. As we say, Good evening to the United National Congress member for Caroni East, dentist Dr. Rishi Sicharan, who has been at the forefront of the ideas given, trying to get the PNM to listen, and they're not listening. He has mentioned beforehand what should have been done, what should have taken place, whether it was with the vaccination procurement, the education program, the systems in place, the specialist doctors, the quarantine protocols, whatever you said, he's been at the forefront, even warning and advising the government to get in line early for the new pill developed by Merck and Pfizer. Dr. Rishi Sicharan, good evening, sir.
Good night, Anil. Good night, Corky, and good night to everyone listening.
How are you, Doc? I mean, you can't be so good because the country is reeling. It's actual calamity here as the COVID-19 fight has been given up by Rowley and his government. They've thrown their hands up in the air and said, all the citizens, you are on your own. What say you?
That's basically what they're saying right now, and it's every man for themselves. And right now, Anil, we're seeing the hospital service being overrun. We're seeing vaccination process being stalled. We've seen cases rising, deaths rising, and we're in a very, very, very bad place in Trinidad and Tobago right now.
How could it have been better? Take us back from the beginning. Because people, they don't understand that pandemic, yes, but there are ways to fight it, ways to take advantage of our comparative advantage. For example, being a small twin island republic, you know, we could have protected our borders. We could have made decisions. Take us back to February 2020 and come forward. Some of the mistakes and what you and the United National Congress would have advised and done differently.
Firstly, Anil, the first thing the PNM government, led by Dr. Rowley, should have done is met with Kamla Prasad-Bissessar and her medical team. That was the first thing they should have done.
And did Kamla Prasad-Bissessar offer that?
Many times, many
people
times.
Don't remember. Yes.
Continuously refused. And one of the major issues that I had with the government was the fact that they did not pre-order vaccines pending WHO approval. And what happened was in October of last year, when we passed the budget allocation, we allocated funds for vaccines, but we did not make a pre-order, even though we were in talks with Pfizer and Moderna and many other vaccine manufacturers. And what happened is by the time it became WHO approved in December, late December, all the vaccines were already pre-ordered by all the countries around the world. So we then had to wait in line while the factories and the manufacturers made more vaccines because they already pre-sold their stock. So by the time we got vaccines in droves, Easter weekend had already happened. And that was probably the biggest mistake he made, well, the second biggest mistake, in asking everyone. At the time, Tobago was COVID-free right before the Easter weekend. There were 0 active cases in Tobago. There were 3 or 4 deaths from COVID-19 after 11 months in Tobago. And we had increasing pockets of COVID-19 infection in Trinidad And what he did is he invited everyone to go to Tobago for the Easter weekend. So you allowed persons from pockets of increasing COVID-19 infection to jump on a plane or a boat and go to COVID-free Tobago. 50,000 persons traveled between Trinidad and Tobago, and not one person was tested before they moved from Trinidad into Tobago. And you know, there's something called asymptomatic carriers, persons that may have COVID-19 but have no symptoms. They have no fever, they have no sore throat, they do not know they are sick, but they have COVID-19 and they are infectious. And what obviously happened is these persons jumped on a plane or a boat, went to Tobago, had a great time on the invitation of Prime Minister Keith Rowley, and Tobago became a hotbed for COVID-19. Right now, Tobago has over 100 deaths. Tobago cannot recover right now. They are in the midst of it. They have 5 intensive care unit beds in Tobago. They are all filled, and Tobago is reeling. In Trinidad and Tobago, we are even in a worse place than Tobago. Right? Our healthcare system, our parallel healthcare system has over 490 patients currently. That is the highest it has ever been. We are bursting at the seams. Persons can't even go in for elective surgeries. They are getting problems to have normal medical procedures done. Doctors, nurses are under severe strain and stress. We had to pass a bill recently in Parliament where we are having dentists and nurses and lab techs to give vaccines because the medical personnel in the hospitals are so overwhelmed. The vaccination process has crumbled. Anil, I did a search. I did a search of the 100 top vaccinated countries in the world, and you know Trinidad and Tobago was in the top 100. Number one was United Arab Emirates at 90%. We have a number of countries, Qatar 78%, Fiji at 63%, and in the top 100 countries in the world, Trinidad and Tobago did not appear. So we are in the second half of the top 200 countries, and that is how poor we are at vaccination. We are at 45% fully vaccinated, and we are in a lot of trouble right now going into the Christmas season.
Doc, go back a bit because you made some points there about Tobago, and I was speaking about the comparative advantage as a country that we have in the fight against the pandemic. And one of those advantages was that we are a small twin island republic surrounded by water, so we could create a bubble of no COVID and kept ourselves safe with good management, good border management, good border control, border radar, Coast Guard, and so on. But then Tobago especially should have been the world's purest island with COVID-19 because Tobago could have been excluded from infection and thereby could have also joined the world and been a revenue earner while Trinidad had to be on lockdown if the borders were manned properly. So how neglectful, how criminally negligent was it for a government, for the Prime Minister, seeing that Tobago was pristine, to invite Trinidadians across to Tobago without PCR tests, without the protocols, when they knew about the protocols for at least a year before, they did not implement them. Is this criminal negligence?
Anil, it is. In fact, I had a speech about that. It was more than criminal negligence. It was ministerial negligence. And it's not only the PCR test, it's the rapid antigen test, which is used throughout the world. And we refuse to allow citizens to buy it here in Trinidad and Tobago through pharmacies. And it's an over-the-counter testing kit approved by the WHO and used around the world. And we bought hundreds of thousands of these rapid antigen tests from PAHO. And I asked Minister Dial Singh, why didn't you not use one test and test persons as they were boarding that plane to go to Tobago? Because you get results in 15 minutes, Anil, right? And it's 99% accurate. So you have an idea. You swab somebody, and in 15 minutes you have an idea if they are positive or not, and if they could get on that plane, and if they could go to COVID-free Tobago. And what they did is they infected Tobago with COVID-19. And Tobago has not recovered. They went from 3 deaths, and now there are over 100 deaths in Tobago since Easter weekend this year.
Talk about that antigen test. Up to now, we don't have it available. Why is that? And then go on to tell me I've seen time and time again, whether in the parliament or in the opposition press conference on Sundays or on the platform, you have been telling the government what to do, giving them ideas, sharing information, knowledge and research, and they just deaf, dumb, dotish and balize stick in the ears because they feel they know everything. This cannot be right, Doc.
Anil, let me just give you an example, right? Our Safe Zone initiative in Trinidad and Tobago asks for an unvaccinated employee operating in that safe zone to be tested every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. Even though they know a PCR test is only valid for 3 days. If you have to jump on a plane and you have to get a PCR test, if that PCR test is older than 3 days or 72 hours, they're not allowing you on the plane. A PCR test is valid for 3 days internationally, but yet the unvaccinated persons in Trinidad and Tobago only have to present a PCR test every 2 weeks. In addition, in the Safe Zone initiative, a vaccinated person never has to be tested and could work in that safe zone without a test ever. Atlantic LNG made a change this week where they realized the error in the government protocols. And what Atlantic LNG is doing, unvaccinated personnel now have to get a rapid antigen test every 3 days, right? As well as vaccinated persons have to be tested with an antigen test every week. We saw when the Prime Minister allegedly hit someone with his golf cart recently before he went to Scotland, and the person had to go for medical treatment.
Well, not allegedly he hit she. He admitted he hit she, and she tripped and fall down, and he did not get out to go and see about she. He admitted it, so no allegedly. It's all right. I go tell you, he bouncy lady. Right.
Right, and it's only when that lady went for medical treatment because she was, struck by the golf cart, did she find out that she was COVID-19 positive. So you have all these vaccinated persons.
But Doc, stop there, Doc.
Yeah.
Answer this for me. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
Right? The lady was COVID-19 positive.
Right.
She prepared, took out of the fridge, wrapped napkin around 2 Gatorade, walked around to the Prime Minister, handed him the Gatorade. He then moved the cart forward, bounce she tripped, she fall on she chest, and he sit down and leave she there for the security and the manager to see if she alright. Then he went to play golf with the Gatorade, the cold Gatorade, with COVID-19 possibly on the Gatorade. He uncap it, touch it, put it in his mouth and drink it for the next 6 hours. And yet they are telling me that he did not have to go into quarantine. Make it make sense, please.
Well, besides the risk to the Prime Minister is the fact that this person or persons exactly like her would sit down in the lunchroom with other employees, take off their masks to eat and drink during lunchtime. And thus, persons like her, I'm not casting aspersions on her specifically, but persons that may be vaccinated and are also COVID-19 positive will spread it to other vaccinated persons. And that is, in my opinion, that is the massive surge in cases that we are seeing right now. The Safe Zone initiative was put into effect on the 11th of October 2021. And if you look at the timestamps and the rise in cases every 2 weeks from that point, we are multiplying by 2.
Doc, so state it there again now. You see, because what you have said there sounds scientifically correct and is what we in the UNC have been saying based on the advice of our doctors like yourself, Dr. Ragmeeb, Dr. Lakram Bodo, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, everybody. And the government has been selling this divisive message to separate the haves and the have-nots, the rich and the poor, the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. And I am telling you that I have seen it, that vaccinated people feel that it is 100% and they are safe and they are going about their business and dropping their guard, while it is very likely that they can contract it and spread it, even though the symptoms will be diminished because they are vaccinated. Therefore, they are very much a threat to the unvaccinated who will be following protocol, being careful, separating, because they feel, well, I have no vaccination, so me ain't so sure. They are still being careful. So what you are saying is that the fight against this pandemic needs to be holistic and there must be no division in the country.
Exactly, and we are totally for opening the economy. That is what we have been arguing for for more than a year. But they need to change the regulations. They are wrong. The regulations they are following are not scientific. Atlantic LNG found that they were improper and changed them. I have been putting forward my suggestions from research that I did in France and Europe. In France, you have to get a rapid antigen test if you're working in one of their safe zones every 48 hours, right? And here we are saying every 2 weeks for a PCR test. A PCR test is $1,200, right? And the employee has to bear the cost of that. An antigen test, if you're allowed to import that and a pharmacy is allowed to sell that, they could sell that for around $100, $150. An antigen test sells for $15 US in any Walgreens in the United States, right? President Joe Biden passed a bill where the U.S. government is buying $2 billion US of rapid antigen tests to distribute in schools, universities, and community centers in the U.S. That is how important they think rapid antigen testing is. A PCR test is cost prohibitive. Even as a vaccinated person, how many persons would want to just go and do a PCR test for $1,200 when you have no symptoms? And because of that, breakthrough infections in vaccinated persons who are asymptomatic, meaning they have no symptoms, is what is fueling this Delta variant surge in Trinidad and Tobago, because they are not addressing the problem. No matter how many times myself, Dr. Lakram Boudou, and Dr. Rai Ragbir tell them, they are just ignoring us, and we are seeing what is happening and the consequences to life in Trinidad and Tobago under COVID-19. In addition, Anil, today in the United States, the FDA and the CDC passed everyone over 18 years of age are allowed to get a Pfizer and a Moderna booster shot, and this is very, very important. And what research in Israel has shown is that after 4 months, even if you take the premier vaccine, which is the Pfizer, the efficacy of the vaccine drops from 96% to 78% after 4 months.
After 4 months?
After 4 months.
Okay, but then you see, you now give me a headache. So you are telling me that you have read that research.
Yeah.
And the Terence Dialsing, Convent Gal, Rowley and them, they have instituted safe zones. Our vaccination program began in about May. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 6 or 7 months. Therefore, and we did not have the premier because they didn't give we premier vaccine. They tell we all was the same. Now we hearing about brand is different, efficacy different, which the UNC was saying all the time. Get us a cocktail of different vaccines and so on. Rowley is on record as saying all we feel Pfizer is the Rolls Royce and there's no difference in vaccine brand and so on. And now you are saying that even the Rolls Royce brand, even the Pfizer, the efficacy of the vaccine after being fully vaccinated, 4 months later, your protection drops from 96% to 76%?
Yeah.
Well,
correct.
I put it to you then, doctor, that all of those people who were fully vaccinated in May, June, July, August, who are out in safe zones now, whose efficacy may have started at 81% with Sinopharm, that they are down to somewhere about 40-50%. So the safe zone is a spreader zone.
Well, that is the point I've been trying to make constantly, and that is why we are asking for booster shots. Now everyone in Canada is allowed to get a booster shot over the age of 18. In England, it's over the age of 50. In Europe, in many countries in Europe, it's over the age of 18. In the United States today, they passed that everyone is eligible for a booster shot over the age of 18. So far in the States, they have already given out 25 million booster shots, and they are doing roughly around 500,000 booster shots every single day in the United States. And Dr. Fauci is on record of saying that they need the booster shots in order to increase your protection against Delta variant in order to stop the breakthrough infections in vaccinated persons. Vaccinated persons are the ones that are spreading the virus currently. So these safe zones, persons that might be enjoying a safe zone right now, it's a false sense of security. And you spread the virus to other vaccinated persons who then carry it home and perhaps spread it to an unvaccinated person. And that is why we are seeing the increase in numbers. And we are not against reopening the economy. What I'm saying is don't bank on the very cost-prohibitive PCR test as your major mechanism of testing. The way you do testing surveillance is by using a cheaper test. It is a little less accurate because it's 99% accurate, but it gives you a good indication to pick up who are the asymptomatic carriers. And that is the need. That is why there's a need for WHO-approved rapid antigen testing for you to do in-home testing. In England, once you have a talent school, they give you 2 kits of rapid antigen tests to take home every week. My cousin in England, she has 2 kits and she has 16 boxes of rapid antigen test kits in her home. So if a child wakes up with a little snuffy nose or a little slight fever, you quickly do a swab, and in 15 minutes you need to carry that child to school or not. And Anil, you know what is my worry? My great worry is after this THA election, right? After the PNM gets what they want, or even if they don't get what they want, that is when they're going to come with the vaccine mandates, right? After they get this election out of the way, that is when they're going to start imposing vaccine mandates, in my opinion, possibly on the population.
But Doc, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because you talk about asymptomatic. We see the figures. I don't believe the figures of this government, because since last year, they went into an election with only 5,000 people tested, claiming to be number one in the world, and they had no testing, no contact tracing. They had Carnival. The first person who died was here during Carnival, spreading COVID, and yet they said we only had 8 deaths for the last for 90 days and 115 positives, and they went into election and got a spike due to the media and people doing market fact surveys like Gabriel Farrier saying, oh, Rowley's doing good. But let me ask you this. If their statistics say that 62,000 people have tested positive for COVID-19 during the last 22 months, and we know that everyone who had it would not have tested positive, so we could extrapolate from that number that at least 150,000, 200,000 people had COVID-19 at some point in Trinidad and Tobago in the last 22 months. What about natural immunity? Does that exist? Does that count for anything? What is the basis? What is the science on natural immunity? And if there are safe zones, where are there passes or bans for people who have developed some antibodies to fight, and what is the efficacy of natural immunity?
So that's a very good question. And natural immunity, is when you actually contract COVID-19 and your body recovers naturally from it. And what they are doing in Europe is that they are allowing these persons to work in safe zones for 6 months without being vaccinated and without, they still have to do testing, antigen testing, but they are not required to be vaccinated. So we did not actually put that in our legislation here, and that is a very good point. So there are 3 categories of persons. There are vaccinated persons, there are unvaccinated persons, and then there are those with natural immunity. And that is a gap in the legislation, and that is something that we should actually look at, because there are many persons that have natural immunity, but according to the science, as far as we could see, you are protected from COVID-19 for 6 months. And in fact, the WHO is saying after 3 months of becoming COVID-19 positive, you can then go for your COVID-19 vaccine. So even if you did get COVID-19, you should in fact still
6 months after.
become vaccinated.
You are a very diplomatic, brilliant doctor, you know. I like how you put it. There is a gap in the legislation. Let me show you how the DouglAR has put it. Convent girl, Rowley, all you have damn dunce. All you don't even understand, read, or research. You come to the parliament, as usual, with bad law, poorly drafted law. You're creating divisions without knowledge, without science, and without protecting all and the rights of all. It's a gap, according to doctor, because he's doctor. He's a nice diplomatic fella. But the DouglAR will say, the gap is done, sod. Yes, doc. No, it's, I mean, you're really, these people have important jobs, and they cannot do the job, sir.
And the real fear to Anil is, coming up into Christmas, where a lot of people will be gathering with their families and friends. We actually will, as Dr. Avery said, we could be approaching 1,000 cases per day. And I can't see the Prime Minister not having a lockdown if he allows it to reach that situation. So, all this talk about lockdowns are over and we're not going back there. I am pretty sure after the THC election, after, that process is done, he will turn back into normal Keith Rowley that we know.
Well, let me ask you this way scientifically.
Yeah.
If Keith Rowley is the Prime Minister and his medical, they confuse themselves. One moment they say they're following the science and the doctors are making the decisions on what could open, where could open, what is safe, what is not safe, what they do. Then the Alsing says, no, it's the prerogative of the Prime Minister. And we know that it has always been the prerogative of the Prime Minister because the decisions that have been made are so illogical. A true scientist without politics would never be so dotish. So we know that it is Rowley, for example, water parks being open because Rahal owned one and the beaches and rivers closed, public swimming pools. I'm a swimming coach. I'm happy for my children to be able to swim. But you can't tell me that it's safer to go in a public swimming pool than to go on the beach. It's abject, total nonsense. But let me also say that it is clear, and please let me know the science. Because when the state of emergency was called by Keith Christopher Rowley, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the day before, there were 520 positive tests and 5 deaths. The day that he came to Parliament to gallery himself in front of you all, and I must commend you for being a parliamentarian who could sit down quietly and listen to that idiot talk for so long. You are much better than me. You are more disciplined than me. You are stronger than me, because I might have jumped through that glass. But anyway, when he came to say that he's lifting the state of emergency, Doc, there were 781 positive tests and 17 deaths. It was worse than when he had started. So what is the science other than he want to campaign because he is losing the THA elections, and polls are showing that they are losing, and they need to do their old tricks, their bribery and their dirty politics in order to try and scramble a victory in Tobago?
Well, definitely, Anil. I mean, he brought no facts before the Parliament. There was nothing for us to consider or scrutinize. It's almost like he had a split personality. I sat down and I listened to his argument, and I was in shock, because what he was saying is what we have been saying and what my leader, Kamala Prasad, has been saying for the last year. And he has no plan, and there's no coherent policies. There's no effective implementation. It's just arbitrary. And, you know, I would like the media to ask Dr. Parasaram, Dr. Hines, and Dr. Richards what is their thoughts on his revoking the state of emergency during this time. You know, we asked them the media asked them for their opinion on everything, but they did not ask them their opinion on that. And I would like to know where they stand with regards to revoking the state of emergency during this time, when our health infrastructure is basically at its breaking point, where doctors and nurses are burnt out, and where our vaccination process has stalled. And I would like to know their thoughts on the Prime Minister's policy of actually coming to Parliament to have the state of emergency revoked 2 weeks before it was due to expire, and miraculously also 2 weeks before a THA general election, THA House of Assembly election.
Doc, you have mentioned some of the countries in the globe that have done well with their vaccination program. Trinidad and Tobago, we are burdened with a high rate of hesitancy. I have proffered since the beginning that the lack of communication, the lack of information, the lack of science, the lack of a strategy, the lack of a grassroots campaign to educate, to answer questions, and to treat people with respect and allay their fears with information has led, double-sided with the vacuum of information also being allowed to enter people's minds, a lot of conspiracy theories, some with merit, some totally out of order and unscientific, but there was a vacuum there that would allow minds to be warped or to be turned against vaccination. What say you in the failure, the total abject failure of the PNM's vaccination program from the beginning, from procurement, education, communication, distribution, and any other problem that you see?
The problem with the vaccination program was the Prime Minister, and it's the way he communicates to people, in my opinion. And he speaks down to the population, and you know, some people say he buffs them, right? You cannot speak to the average citizen like if you're talking to a child. You know, you have to speak to people with compassion and love and explain to them this is not a sweetie you take in. This is something that was created, and people are asking to inject this into your body. They're asking to inject it into your child. And what he is doing and what they have done is they have these medical doctors, many of whom I went to school with, and they sit down and they talk very, very scientific. They use medical jargon. And when I sit down and I listen to these Ministry of Health briefings, they are very, very scientific. And what I mean by that is the average person would find it difficult to understand some of the things that they are saying. And they should use very simple language in order to get the general population. And there was a survey done before the vaccination process started. And what they said is that in Trinidad and Tobago, we would only be able to get maximum 55% of our population vaccinated. And Dr. Buru was talking about this survey in Parliament. And it is panning out to be exactly that. You know, we are only 45% fully vaccinated. When they started the vaccine rollout, I asked the Minister of Health, why didn't you create a website where persons could book appointments to get their vaccines instead of having to line up in the rain and these long lines and everyone gathering? And it took many, many months for him to actually go ahead and do that. So they don't listen to anyone. They just do as they like.
Well, as you said they did not even listen to their own minister, because Alison
Exactly.
West went to him and said, let me create a portal, let me create a website, let me organize so that the population can be organized. And Convent Girl said, no, we had it under control. And we saw our elderly in a super spreader event on 3 separate occasions going for vaccines that did not exist.
Anil, at this rate, it will take us roughly more than a year to even reach anywhere close to herd immunity. We are months behind almost every country in the world in terms of vaccination, right? Countries such as Bahrain are at 69%. You know, Sri Lanka is at 62%. El Salvador in Central America is at 61%. Mongolia is at 66%. Mauritius is at 67%. All these countries, they are not first world countries. These are countries similar to Trinidad and Tobago. And they are far, far ahead of us.
But they have leaders that the people trust, who came to them and communicated to them.
That is the important thing. You know, if you trust your leader, if you think your leader is speaking with compassion and kindness and is looking out for the best interests of you.
Well, we gone through. No, it's very sad, because it is a very true statement. And let me ask you this, because my mother always taught me to use jargon straight out of a textbook, and to pretend and feign intelligence means that you are a complete idiot. A real intelligent human being can take the most complex issues, whether financial, medical, scientific, and break it down so a man on the street who did not pass standard 5 could understand. So these junior doctors who coming out there to regurgitate a textbook for the people every day, yet we are also seeing, Doc, that there was a grave situation in the COVID-19 fight, where senior specialist doctors were embarrassed, lied upon by Davlin Thomas, the PNM head of the North Central Regional Health Authority, and yet they were kept there. They lied on the chief of staff, and he had to correct the record. What is the position? Talk about the hierarchy of doctors, of specialists. You said, as a young man, that you were in school with some of these people who are pretending to be experts. Are they experts? What is an expert? How do you specialize? What is the ranking in doctors then?
All right. So, well, I have known Avery Hines since he was 12. We were in Form 1 together at St. Mary's. I've known Dr. Parasuram since university. We were roughly in Mount Hope around the exact same time, as well as Miriam, Dr. Abdul Richards. So what they did is they did their medical program, their medical degree, which is the MBBS, and then you could do, I think it's 1 or 2 years, and you would get a master's in public health. So they are what you call public health doctors, where they basically assess different diseases and their progression around the world, and how you would treat and populations and protect populations against these issues. But they are not clinical. They are not. So my 3 younger brothers are doctors. I have a brother who's a cardiologist, as well. He's also what you call an interventional cardiologist. I have another brother specializing in Kansas University, and I have another brother that's working at Mount Hope.
Wait. Pause there. Pause right there, my brother. I would like to know your parents' names right here on U97.5. Tell me your parents' names.
Chris and Sita.
Chris and Sita Sicharan?
Yeah.
I want to say to Chris and Sita Sicharan, oh Lord, that is what we're talking about. That is parents, boy. 4 doctors in one family. Whatever all you do, we need it in a booklet. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, when she become Prime Minister, will pay for it to go to all parents, what to do, how to bring up your children, how to make them study, how to make them bright. No, you laughing. I'm very serious, you know. I'm an Olympic coach. I don't play. When I see talent, I respect and love Chris and Sita.
Yeah.
Is it? Am I correct?
Yes, Chris and Sita, teacher.
May God bless them. Well done. I am very proud of them. Even though I'm younger than them, I could still be proud of them. That is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. But basically, so what I'm saying is, there are clinical doctors, and then there are doctors that are not, that don't really deal as much with the clinical aspect of patient management. And what they did, what Davlin Thomas did in moving many of these senior clinical doctors from the Couva Hospital, is that these persons were specialists in various fields, such as diabetes, and some were cardiologists. In fact, one was an infectious diseases specialist. And these people would deal with you specifically, if you have a heart issue, if you are diabetic, or in some cases if you're immunosuppressed. And they have the years of experience as well as the years of postgraduate clinical training. And they would be able to, they are in a better position to save your life. Mm-hmm. And what they did is, even though they hired additional doctors in the Ministry of Health, they hired additional junior doctors. So they hired around 200 house officers. So what a house officer is somebody that just finished their medical training, did their internship, and now they're coming out looking for their first job in the world. And these persons, they do a lot of the grunt work, so to speak, in terms of swabbing and taking blood and whatnot. But, if you really are in a life and death situation, as Dr. Gopi Singh said, that's when you want someone with 15, 20 years experience and have seen thousands of patients.
Well,
and
Doc,
yeah.
come in there then. Because I am putting it to you that I am not a doctor.
Right.
But I could make sense of statistics, and I can read and check global figures and compare.
Right.
Doc, over the last especially 8 months, I am putting it to you and the population that you might as well go to Belgrove's or any other funeral home than to go in the ICU, because the death rate in Trinidad and Tobago is among the highest in the globe, and the only reason that we have not hit over maximum capacity to shut down and broke down the place was because beds in the ICU and HDU kept opening up daily because people were dying. Is our death rate very high? Why is it so high? And what is necessary to find out what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago that is not happening in other countries in the ICU?
Our death rate is very, very high. Currently, I was looking at COVID tracker, and right now we are 8 in the world currently.
8 worst
right
or 8 best?
Yeah, no, we are the 8th highest country
for
in
dead
terms
in.
of death rate currently in the world right now.
Yeah, death rate, I just call it dead in. Yes. So that when we get sick and we going down, our system not working. We are just dead in. Where other people just come back from the brink of death and live.
But Anil, you know what? The Minister of Health said he spent $480 million, right, in the last fiscal year in regards to COVID-19. And, the question I asked him is, how many extra ventilators did they buy with that money?
And what he said?
He can answer. How many extra ICU beds they bought with that money? He can answer. You know where the money went? The money went in renting step-down facilities, renting quarantine facilities, all them hotel and building and things they were renting.
To make money, but not to keep the citizens safe. Give some statistics on death rate. So we are in the top 10 worst in the world at our ICU. This is a very serious thing because people don't have confidence. And when you go in an ICU, and you were just telling me that we leave our senior specialists of 15, 20, 25, 30 years experience. We don't listen to them. We flood the place with junior doctors. We listening to junior public health officials. And the best of the best are not there to help me live. Let me tell you something. If, God forbid, anything happen to me, I want the best of the best. You say your brother is a cardiovascular surgeon with interventional cardiology. Interventional, right. Well, I not only going to go by he because he's your brother, but I want to see who is the best man to go and cut open my heart? Me or no junior thing with a mask on, trying to look sexy to talk thing to me. I looking for the best of the best, and I think any other citizen will look for that. But we are hearing from Dr. Tim Gopi Singh and others that the best specialists have been sidelined. And when we look at that and then see that our death rate is among the worst in the world, the people must be scared.
Yeah, you must be scared. You must be scared, and that is why everyone, I appeal to everyone to go out and get vaccinated. Is really the only thing that we have right now that could save your life. I asked the Minister of Health during my budget presentation, to pre-order. I was the first one that asked them to pre-order these antiviral drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about
by
that.
Merck and Pfizer.
I remember that.
He looked at me in my face and he was like, they are not WHO approved. And I was like, well, by the time you wait for it to be WHO approved, they get sold out again. It's like, this is like deja vu. This is the exact same thing that happened last year with vaccines.
But they lied last year too, because they said WHO, when we know they was waiting to sign a contract for $205 million to get a loan from Chinese, which included Siao Sinopharm. But the first 2,000 doses that we got from Barbados were not WHO approved at that time.
Right, and Anil, with regards to the booster shots, right? The booster shots are FDA approved. They are approved by many European countries. They are approved in Canada, right? But the WHO have not approved have not approved the booster shots. So I was telling the Minister of Health, when are you going to dispense booster shots after the Delta pandemic done and everybody die out? Another consideration you have to think about is if they don't have money to buy the additional vaccines. Because remember, we took a loan, and part of the vaccines were part of the loan from China. So is it that we may have to take another loan if we have to acquire additional booster shots for the population? That is another consideration we have to look at as well.
Talk to me. You warned in advance and advised the minister to get an order of these Merck pills and this Pfizer. What is the efficacy? How can we get in line? Did they get in line, or are we going to be last and worst as usual as this PNM incompetent bunch of vagabonds?
So in the beginning of October, during the budget presentation, I asked him to pre-order as well as to contact Pfizer and Merck in order to get these antiviral pills. And what these antiviral pills have shown in testing, and they are in phase 3 testing right now. In fact, the UK has fully authorized the pill by Merck. And what it shows is that upon presentation of symptoms, if you take these antiviral drugs, I think it was two tablets per day, for the first 3 to 4 days, you actually have, you increase your survival by, I think it was about 80%. So they would, and decrease hospitalization as well. And the Pfizer drug has even greater efficacy than that. And what they are doing is they are putting these drugs through the different phases of trials in the United States right now, and the FDA is trying to have it authorized for public use and dispensation before the end of the year. And these antiviral drugs will most likely bring the COVID-19 pandemic to an end, because once they are on the market, persons can then take these tablets at home, and you may just get a fever and you may get a sore throat, but you will not die. And that would hopefully stop this COVID-19 pandemic. The problem is that there are only a certain amount being manufactured before the end of this year. And countries such as Britain, the United States, and Canada, the U.S. has already pre-ordered $2 billion worth of these drugs. The United Kingdom has pre-ordered $500 million of these drugs. So most of the European countries are putting in their orders. And what they're saying is, upon approval, ship me my drugs. And that is all I was telling the Prime Minister when he wanted to shout and scream at me. I was saying, sir, please put in your order. Please give them your money and say I'm making an order. And upon approval, ship it to me directly to Trinidad and Tobago and Piaco the same day. That is all I'm saying. Put in your order so we know we have some of that stock. Because every day and every week and every month that we don't have those tablets, persons are going to die in Trinidad and Tobago from COVID-19.
Well, you made a mistake, Doc. You should have tell him, ask Alan Warner to order it. It would have reached one time. Or Noel Garcia. Talk to me a little bit. We have about 5 minutes, Dr. Citroen. Caroni East. I saw you doing some videos. Your infrastructure is dilapidated. Your roads, your potholes. Talk to me about your constituency.
It's really, really bad. I mean, I am so glad the political leader selected me to serve the people of Carneys, and I am grateful to Kamala Prasad Bissessa eternally for that. Her wisdom and her judgment, but we are getting no support, very little support from the Ministry of Health and the different ministries in the government. We actually have a bridge in Lalu Trace that fell into the watercourse, and this bridge, the farmers in that area, they supply the vegetables and the fruits and the produce for the Namdefco hampers, and these persons don't even have a bridge to move from one side to the other. We did a video and we are asking the Minister of Works, the Minister of Local Government, the Minister of Agriculture to intervene and please help out these 50 farmers. We have pregnant women that have to basically walk down, this fallen bridge, and children. It's so dangerous. It's a hazard. We have potholes all, every road in Carney. It's like a moon crater. I write letters. I've written, I think, over 150 letters to the ministries. And every time somebody comes and asks for an issue, we write a letter. I have all the letters. And, when we write to these ministries as the member of parliament, maybe 1 or 2 out of 100 we will get a reply.
Repeat that, please. Repeat that, please. As an elected member of Parliament in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, yes, you're writing to the PNM ministries, and you, out of every 150 letters, how many you get an acknowledgement?
If I'm lucky, 1 or 2, I will get a reply. Official replies. Member of Parliament, we acknowledge receipt of your request on behalf of this constituent, and at least reply and tell me, no, we don't have the money, or say, we're not doing it for you, or whatever. But so what I had to do is every 3 months I have to keep writing over the same letter, right? And because we get no reply, and when you call the ministry, nobody answers because they're on COVID protocols and they don't have staff. So, and you can't go in front of the ministry because COVID protocols, nobody allowed in the building. So right now, all the ministries, is like a blank zone. There's nothing you could do to contact them.
Don't say blank, they go say, we racist. We saying Rowley's a blank man.
Right.
Yeah, but it's all right, I go say it. Because Rowley ain't black. Rowley's a Oreo. You ain't say it. I say it, you understand? No, but it's really disgusting, and this is what is going on across this geographic discrimination, doctor.
It's discrimination of people in rural communities. That is the way I look at it, because they discriminate against both people of East Indian descent as well as people of Afro-Trinidadian descent, and I have major landslips along Fletcher's Road, and I actually stopped there and I did a video because the person said the garbage truck can't pass. If their mother gets sick, the ambulance can't come up here and see their mother. Basic things that another country would take for granted. Here in Trinidad and Tobago, we have to beg and plea and protest for. It's just things that are necessary, and they're not doing what is right for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and they need to be removed, and they need to be removed right now.
Dr. Rishi Citran, Member of Parliament for Caroni East, young, brilliant dentist, and God bless you, your brothers, your mother and father. I must say, praise to them. Well done. They are absolutely brilliant. If they did not hear that, please message them now and say Anil Roberts say he is most impressed with y'all. He wants to hear how y'all did it, because that is absolutely fantastic, and all our mothers and fathers should try to emulate the plans put in and the hard work, the sacrifice put in by your parents to bring out such successful, disciplined, brilliant children. Doc, thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you for having me, sir, and good night, everyone.
And God bless. Talk cocky, you see, when we tell you UNC bring in bright young people. Politics is not no game. Politics is not no football game. You have a bag of dunce on the PNM side, and everybody on the UNC brighter than them, and all you're telling me vote for that for what? For what? To get Mama Guy to let Rowley create a web with Alan Warner, Noel Garcia, Newman George, Bridges, and he said George, Alvin Hille, small pin brother, father, and all of them to Mama Guy all you, take all your money and leave all you to dead? All you better vote flipping UNC, eh? We coming back.
Get up early next morning, go down in the 10 days yard. You'll see so much different type of people line up with the ID card. Or visit my village called Talparo, where they ain't get no water for years. People don't know the race, yes, they don't know the color. With a bucket sit down shedding tears. No, tell them racists sufferers don't care about color. Sufferers don't care about race. Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who place. Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from tongue. Sufferers only want to hear where the next food coming from. Visit the General Hospital, and I know that you would be shocked. Who living in who place? Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from tongue. Sufferers only want to hear where the next food coming from. This is someone who have something that they want to protect. So they would always keep on talking the race talk till the day of the death. But poor people, we have nothing. Don't know where the next meal coming from. So I want you to go and to tell all them racists suffering makes us one. Now tell them racist sufferers don't care about color. Sufferers don't care about race. Sufferers don't care. Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from tongue. Sufferers only want to know where the next food coming from. Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who place. Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from tongue. Sufferers only want to know where the next food coming from. Sufferers don't care about color. Sufferers don't care about race. Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who place. Sufferers don't care who from
can see the understanding. These problems are real world problems, require solutions, require teamwork, require intelligence, creativity, heart, care, love, trust. None of these things reside within Keith Rowley. And you all think elections have every, oh gosh, my red team win. Yeah, and your captain is heartless and don't care about you. If your red team win, you lose. Election is not no basketball game. It's not no hockey game. It's not no rugby sevens game. It's not no badminton game. It's not no squash game. It's not no chess game, no Scrabble game, no pool game, no snooker game. Elections have consequences. When somebody win, they have to provide you. They're not there to help, to give you everything, but to allow you to achieve. We had a lady called from Cocorite, a single mother. 2 daughters, one doing A-levels, going into university looking for scholarship. One there already with a first degree, going for a master's. Civil engineering, brilliant. She had to keep and hug she daughters because gunshot only raining out in Cocorite. Bandits roaming the country with freedom because Rowley lost confidence in Gary Griffith because Gary Griffith told him he's an idiot basically because he was talking nonsense. But Rowley, you are an idiot. So what you think is breaking news? Keith Rowley is dotish. No, we know you're an idiot since 1969, boy. It's not no secret, boy. It's not no news flash, boy. We know you are heartless, no class, no character, no decorum, no love, classless clown, Oreo cookie. We know that. We don't know that. It's nothing new. Crime is out of hand because we have no police commissioner. No police commissioner for about 2 months now. Going on 3 months. Going into Christmas. SOE left and Sleepy Fitzgerald Hines, who'd sleep and kill people dog and then put up the video on Facebook and say, well, look, the dog was wrong. Yes, Fitzgerald, the dog was wrong. Yes. It's a pity the dog is just a bit brighter than you, Fitzgerald. That's who you all have, your elections, and that's what you have to keep us safe. Bandit running around Trinidad and Tobago doing what they want. Cocky today, I see a video. Let me tell all you something.
Yes.
It's a worrying video. It's a sickening video. It's a frightening video. It's a painful video. And for me as a father, I'm telling you, if that was me, I turned police one time. And not normal police, bad police. You understand? Telling all this straight. I'm not playing, you know. You could do anything to Anil, you see me? They could lie on me. They could say anything. They could, PNM tell so much lie on me. Look, I still right here in their face. Because the truth may travel slow, but it will always come. And no lie could bring down a warrior. So me and Kay, I would still never lie on Keith Rowley. Rowley could lie on anybody at any time because that's who Rowley is. Classless, doke, heartless, clown. But let me tell all this something. I saw a video today. And when I saw that video, I know that I am afraid for my people and my citizens. It was from a CCTV camera. A father was holding his baby. Baby looked like about 17 months. At the maximum if it's a small child, but the father was kind of tall. Maximum 22 months. In his arms. He went outside to open the gate for his wife to drive in the CRV into the garage. Broad daylight, hot sun. As she drove in, a car pulled up. 3 bandits brandishing gun and wild sprint out. Push the father with his child in hand out of the way. Pull the woman and rough shop Pelchi out the CRV and bust out, steal the CRV and bust it out and drive away scot-free in the broad daylight. And all they say it and no need for a commissioner of police. The commissioner of police would have strategy in place that as that happen, you would have helicopter up in the air, transportation units would be on, rapid response, air units, everybody would be available, CCTV, operation units, cameras would be going, and they would have been caught within 8 to 10 minutes. But let me tell you, the kind of evil, wicked, nasty monsters that coming out. And it's a different breed. Because you all may not understand. There are people, anything that you do in life, you will become skilled at it. So if you is a bandit with years experience, you become a skilled bandit. You don't make rookie mistakes. You don't get over panicky. You don't pull trigger by mistake. You know that this banditry, whatever it is, has become your work. You know that you don't want to go in jail and spend no inordinate amount of time. So you don't do useless things like beat people and gun whip people and bust them up and hurt them and mash up people and hurt. You be very careful. Because you know when you hurt people, especially children, there's a higher motivation to catch you and to deal you serious. So experienced bandits don't move like wild wallahoos like that. So what we are seeing now is a new crop of young DouglAR bandits who just running wild, and that is dangerous to the innocent. That is dangerous to the God-fearing, good citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Them three clowns could not even care less that the man has his child in his hand. They even waving gun while their finger could have slipped and pull a trigger. That child could have been dead. That's what we going through under the PNM. And Christmas now start. Next week in the US is Thanksgiving weekend. After that is Christmas season. SOE lift. Etelbert is Minister of National Security. The biggest Pumsite Rasta dunce who cannot even fix a sewer in Beatham for the people. Going on 14 weeks now. Man who just fall asleep anywhere you go. Sleepy Hines. They say it's fall asleep. Who say high grade? Who say Kuchumpeng? I don't know who say that. But that's the people you all have in charge. They don't want Gary. The population, 89% want Gary. Them don't want Gary. Bandits, no? No Gary. Walk with Jacob because Jacob does walk and shake up. So bandits running free. Gun, tuna, gun battle. 150 rounds. You know it's 150 bullet? So much? Yes, in one, and 9 p.m. in a state, before they left the state of emergency. Gunshots ringing out wild all over the place. And now I have to see a man holding a child. The child, you know. And them just spot a car, run out wild, push man with child. Really? That is the level of stupidity we know at the bandit level. So we have dunce bandit too, and a dunce bandit is a dangerous bandit. A dunce bandit with a gun is a deadly bandit. But I'm telling you, while, and that is anarchy on the streets of Trinidad and Tobago, courtesy of Keith Rowley and the PNM. But what you want me to say? All you wind your neck, put on your jersey, put a flag. Imagine I see a few young people, me and up they're getting paid for the PNM to wave flag. I want to ask them in Tobago, why are you waving the PNM flag? What they did? What they did for Tobago? What opportunities did they create? What have they done for education? What have they done for tourism? What have they done to create jobs, to diversify the economy of Tobago? What have they done to maintain the pristine beauty of Tobago? What have they done to sell Tobago? Not a bit of foreign direct investment. They now come to give Trini land in Tobago. All you say you didn't want the Calcutta ship, so PNM say to turn race into everything. Well, the Arab ship coming, the PNM Arab ship coming. It coming to take everything. So all you go ahead. Because the PNM is not no black man government. It have plenty people looking black. But looking black and putting policies to improve the lives of the majority of black people is two separate things. 218-7762. Because this country is out of hand. This is the worst crime has been since 2008, when there were 558 murders under the late Martin PNM Joseph. Right now is the worst ever right now in this last 2 months here.
Serious.
218-7762. And remember, when you're going across the Tobago, check out Waves Restaurant and Bar. Great menu, ambience. Take your significant other for a romantic dinner at Waves Restaurant and Bar, Black Rock Road on the Grafton Beach, facing out. It's built just along the beach. You feel like you're eating on the sand, but you're up on the pristine deck being served 3-course meals, brilliant 5-star restaurant at great prices. Check out Waves Restaurant and Bar in Tobago. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Anil.
Yeah.
I heard the doctor, the goodly doctor, and I think he's been very impressive this afternoon. What I'm saying here is, what I want to say here is this, is that you have a vaccine is not really a vaccine. You have high quality vaccine and you have vaccines that are less prestigious, right? And you have the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which probably about 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, the CDC and the FDA, and it's been discussed on CNN and MSNBC, that after 2 months, that vaccine, the efficacy of that vaccine waned to the extent that it reaches the level, the protection is 3%, right? So what they were trying to tell people, they were telling people in the United States, those who took the Johnson & Johnson, they should go and get a booster, go a second dose immediately, because they're not protected. And a lot of people, a number of persons in Trinidad, a large number of persons, would have taken that Johnson & Johnson. I am not seeing the urgency. They're walking around the place and believe that they have protection. They have nothing at all. And nobody, and you can't, I don't know. And nobody's saying anything. And those may be like the likely persons who are being infected and who are spreading the virus. So I'm saying, I'm asking that some urgency, or they move with alacrity to have those people, vaccinated with the second dose.
Thank you, sir.
3%, you don't have nothing?
Is that true that it goes down so low? 3%?
Yes, that is the Johnson & Johnson.
After 2 to 3 months, it goes down that low?
That is what they said. That is what the findings were.
Oh, my goodness.
And they were telling the people to go and get the second dose.
And Dr. Sicharan even just said that even the Pfizer.
Yes, they go down.
And I have taken the Pfizer, so he said after 6 months, it goes down.
The AstraZeneca, there was findings coming out of the University of London, which says that after 6 months and more, over 6 months, it remains, I think the efficacy remains at some 77% or thereabouts.
That's what the Astra jumps to 74, 76%. And then after that, so you have to... Well, you see, science is evolving, but what you are saying and what I am saying is, we need education, we need discussion, we need to inform the people, we have to stop buffing the people and stop dividing. We need to also find out who has natural immunity and be able to signify them and show respect to their natural immunity also in a policy of moving together in a fight against a pandemic. Everything in Trinidad and Tobago under Rowley is divide, divide, divide.
Yeah, so I would like them to look into this whole thing and try to have people vaccinated.
Thank you, sir. Blessings. Well, that's interesting. I'll have to double check that, but that is scary. Good evening. 218-7762. We're taking your calls. Trinidad and Tobago. We recently did earlier and interviewed Dr. Rishi Sicharan. He was brilliant. And I'm telling you that I am very worried about the crime situation. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening again, Anil. Good evening to everybody out there.
Good evening.
Anil, it was so warming to listen to Dr. Sicharan. You know, I would love to be a fly on the wall when he and his brothers and them speaking. You can imagine the type of conversation. Anyway, Anil, I hope people were listening to when Dr. Sicharan said how many letters that they have written to the various ministries complaining about issues in his constituency. And that is for constituencies across the UNC stronghold, or however you want to refer to it. And don't come now on other radio stations or whatever and complain them and doing nothing. They ain't have water, they ain't have this, they ain't have that. And Cumberland them ain't doing nothing. The councillors ain't doing nothing. The UNC people ain't doing nothing. You understand? Because you see, they don't listen and understand. PNM is not doing anything for anybody. You want to tell me, Anna, look at the condition of the country with the water situation, and nobody in charge is addressing the situation? And the next thing Dr. Sicharan said is that he advised people to take the vaccine. No, but then again we come back to it. Oh, UNC people telling they do like the PNM and telling people to take. No, they're not telling the people, they're advising the people. You understand? There is a big difference. And when we start learning the difference, Anil, then we will start being educated. Thanks a lot and have a good evening.
Have a great evening. And information coming to hand today, 491 positive cases and another 11 citizens have died today of COVID-19. Taking the total dead Trinbagonians up to 1,919. 1919.
Good night, Anil.
Good night, sir. Did you hear the sad news? It's dead.
These people do not know what they are doing. They don't have a clue. And I'm going to tell you something. Simeon Road, La Puerta, I mean, these people, Cocorit, the lady earlier on tonight with Cocorit, how they live, and somehow they cannot of the trap that they're in. It's handed down by mommy, granny, granddad, everybody. And they continuously abuse themselves. It is heartbreaking. You take a drive and you go up there and you meet these people and you see where they live. Some people reach home 6 o'clock in the evening. They have to walk up a hill, then cross on a boardwalk, a piece of board to cross a ravine. If they fall, they're dead. And it is incredible, it's unimaginable that they keep putting these people back in office every time. I am so sorry and sad about this situation. Good night, Anil.
Have a good evening. And that's the problem. And somehow we need to break that cycle. And I am saying it across the board. Do not vote for UNC because your granny tell you vote UNC and you vote Uncle Rowley. Look, all the people come on, man. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Hello?
Good evening.
Yes, granny. For you 18. Yeah.
What you say? Hello.
I'm not too sure something about 18.
18.
Well, 18 during the election time.
Well, 2001, yeah. Good evening. Hello.
Hi, afternoon, Anil. And is that Koki there?
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Hey, Koki, man.
Hey, what's up?
I hear my name called. Yeah, but
who's this?
But anyway, my contribution tonight is this.
Yes.
I see a lot of money is being given away in Tobago for all sorts of things, but I don't have a problem with it. I think Tobagonians deserve what they get to a point. And my point is, all the hoteliers is getting money over and over. They recently give them a certain money, then they come and they give them again. They allocate a certain money to give them during this thing. Well, we know what the money is about.
But
right?
pause there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Don't get confused. You know. The 50 million they give them 13 months ago, if it went anywhere, and this 50 million to try, when you divide it amongst the hotel rooms, the hoteliers in Tobago, that comes out about $8,000 per room. What you could do, you can't even buy a good TV for that. What you going to do to refurbish a room, plumbing, electrical, curtains, bed sheets, walls, pictures, that money and nothing is the same thing. It's mamagism, it's superficial, and it's stupidity. If you want, remember Rowley was going and give Butch Stewart $7 billion to build a hotel to one man. Right. You giving 7,000 people 50 million. They like taking bread and crumple it up and throw it on the ground for the pigeons.
Yeah, but Anil, this is one of my points, right? Yeah. You're given that, all right, fine. Tobago deserve that. They say, all right, Tobago is tourism.
No, Tobago deserve better, and it don't deserve bribery and mamagism 2 weeks before an election. That's disrespectful.
Right. Yes. And so my point I'm really trying to get at is this. Our friends with hotels in Toko, Mayaro, we have Manzanilla here, right? Mm-hmm. Now they suffer some loss. Look, I have a neighbor right now. Right now he's selling his place. He normally rent it out, but he's selling it because he says it's not profitable. No, it has some people I know who have loans to pay for these things, right? It have a place I just go regular. And right now, it changed owners, and the owner who got it now, he ready to give it up already. So why didn't they get something as well? This is my point.
Because your point is brilliant. Because the PNM does not work on policy. I am a Whitco Desperados fan. My father was the attorney for the Hammer and Desperados since 1973. I only know one band, Whitco Desperado. That's my band. Rowley and them gone and spend 14 million to say that Desperados can't stay up the hill because the crime's so bad, they put them down on Nelson Street. But my problem is, even though I am happy for my band, they did not give that money based on a policy. So how can ban apply under what policy for money from the taxpayers to outfit their facilities? It is nonsense. Rowley's just do thing by VAPs. So Tobago have an election, chook money there. But what about all the other guest houses across Trinidad and Tobago? What about all the other hotels? What is the policy?
Exactly. And this is where fairness comes. This is where
exactly
people. But what happened is, Anil, you see, I will tell you something. I over 15 years I had steady in Tobago, and I just go from Charlottesville, Crown Point, you name it, Plymouth. They feel living to get away with all this foolishness. They really don't know Tobago.
Well, honestly, that is good. I hope that you are correct, my brother. God bless.
No. Yes, I'm telling you that they feel
because they deserve it, and people must understand politics. He must perform. If are you giving a man your vote, and the man slapping you in your face, and he cough you in your face, and he knock out your teeth, and he kick you in your belly, and he kick you in your knee, and he throw you down and break your back, you go still vote for him?
Yeah, understand? And here is the man boasting that he built this Scarborough Hospital. I could send you that clip. I could send you that clip.
Oh God, send me that clip. Send me that clip.
You had to give me your what?
790-8254. 790-8254. Send me that clip. All right, my brother. Bless it.
And here is too. The Roxborough Hospital.
Yes.
Right. I have a friend living right around it. And me and he were real good. And watch me, the hospital, that's not even my health center. Because the borrow equipment they put there, and it's not really functional, to be honest. You understand?
Well, the mama guy people, but people, you could fool some people sometime, but I feel Rowley and the PNM time coming. I feel it coming.
They are ready.
Tanga is looking on, but we need for Clarence Rambarat. Stop liming with Boudit. It's Friday night, Clarence. You're going by Boudit again to fix the bridge that permits farmers access to the garden in Plamita Lagoon. Clarence, fix the bridge.
Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, Tobago, yeah, man, your family here.
Oh, Lord Tobago, good evening.
Yeah, man. And they could give me how much money they want. The results will be the same. Right? They could pump 50 million every week. They're coming out.
Very good.
People fed up of them, and they're not. They control how much video they want. They control a video with Duke on the moon. They control them on the sky. They go get licks on the land.
Oh Lord, say it again. Talk to the people, boy. Go ahead, take a minute and talk to the people.
They control a video with Duke on the moon and the stars, and they go get licks on the land. The licks. The 3 seats they make up, they're so short, they can't win none.
Good.
Right? They make a mistake with them 3 seats.
Very good, because the cheaters don't prosper. They try to cheat election and they go get it.
And they can't thief it because we're ready for that too.
Excellent, my
we
brother.
have people on it and we're ready for that too.
God bless you all. Keep working hard.
People like Miss Bernie and all of them, Mother Bernie and all that, we on it.
Call some more names. Call some more names of my Tobago people out there.
All are we on it.
Yes, man.
All. If you close your front door,
yes.
And just when you open, you all.
Yes. If you, in case you miss it, all at Tobago go in and vote out PNM. And if you was closing your fridge door,
we big out here. We have plenty robots in Tobago. All have to go. All PNM have to go.
Nice, man. Blessings.
Half of Tobagonian is robot.
Could you believe the Freitas? Watch me in the Senate. The Freitas who pretend he's a PNM, but he's more, pretend he's a Tobagonian, but he's more PNM than Tobagonian. He tell me in the Senate, well, if Tobago cannot handle their affairs, they will allow Trinidad to sort it out. I say, what kind of Tobagonian you is? I never hear a Tobagonian say that. Tobagonian always want to handle their own business.
And tell Adisha, well, she's not welcome in Tobago. She from Lavantil. We don't want she here.
Oh, Lord. All right, my brother. God bless. Tobago 218-7762. Corky. Line up a tune a kai. So there for me, I had a scrun today. I was seeing there. I like that. I might want that just now. Turn down the volume on the radio, please. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah. It's Anil.
Yeah.
You need Panyard listen to you.
Which Panyard? Which Panyard?
You need Panyard.
Which one?
Panyard by Rowley.
Rowley. Which Panyard by Rowley? Indigo Martin, Bagatelle? Which Despas Panyard? Which Panyard?
You want to hear Despas? You hear Despas now, man.
You want to hear? You want to hear a pan tune?
Yeah.
All right,
that's the right man.
Yeah, we go get.
Well, pan man, listening to you now.
All right, we go get all your little pan there. We get and get a scrunter, and then we go get your pan.
All stars are renegades.
Anybody sweet. Don't mind nice or despas, but I go play anything nice. Pan sweet all around. All right, my brother, blessings. My boy say he in the Panyard. Yes, always Panyard is. But I like I hope all you have on all your mask and separating in the Panyard. All of this thing, we on we own. The PNM have failed. The government has failed. They throw up their hand in the air. They don't know what to do again. So all is left is for each one of we to help one another and try to take care of each other. So be safe. 218-7762. If I ain't get called in 5 seconds, I'm going with the scrunter, and then we going and find a pan tune for all you. It is Friday on U97.5 FM, hot like pepper, DouglAR Radio. Come in, scrunter.
To me, current instruments are kosho, guitar, maracas, which we call the changer, the box bass, a violin, and mandolin. The last 10 favorite vaccination in India. 3-4 lead singers. You sing a verse, I sing a verse, he sing a verse, somebody else sing a verse, and you know it sounds so sweet. That's where I get it sweet.
I was among a big family, eating and drinking what I want, dancing, singing, having a good time. Every time my parents play, but Uncle Sam to see me, I ain't a young lady, pull me by the back door and he say, you feel right, that ain't walking here tonight. If it's like you take, that ain't walking here tonight. Walk out, take it light. tonight. That they're walking here tonight. I was shot and started stomach. Santos, I'm not on top.
Let me tell you something. Tobago, accounting on Tobago to set the change for the next 50 years in Trinidad and Tobago, where politics must make sense. People must move away from race and vote on policies, performance, and the impact on your lives. Tobago PNM, you are totally disgraceful even to your own. That attack on a young lady, that nasty, disgusting gutter politics of the PNM because the lady talked the truth about Ansel Dennis and the leadership of the PNM in Tobago, that's what you all do. That is disgusting. And to even the young PNM candidate, I, Anil Roberts of the UNC, say, hold your head up high, stay strong, stand firm, stand strong, and work hard for your politics. Don't take on no nastiness, no evil. Even though you are PNM, I and the UNC frown on that attack, that nasty attack on a young female politician. So, Sparrow, sing something for all the beautiful Tobago ladies.
From Ohio, spending holiday in Scarborough. Time up here, want to go. Why, brother, I really don't know. Immigration told the old man, you know I prohibited immigrant. Listen, sire, the time expire. We would like to know where you really want. He said, oh, them Tobago girl. Tick, tick, tick like a new sponge ball. Them formation hall. Easy at all, pretty as a doll. Me, I love them sweet Tobago girl. South. I have seen women all about, but they cannot compare with these you have done here. When they walk in, background shaking, pretty teeth and eyes that just seem to glow. What they eating, what they drinking, how them looking, so I would like to know. Like a Kaiser ball, borrows you could call, or ring Interpol, me ain't going at all, 'cause I love them sweet Tobago girls. Take your own two hands to shape Tobago man. So much beauty all around me. This place have me heart controlling my head. Deportation is no solution. Give me permission to stay till I'm dead. All them Tobago girls, nice and wrong like a butterball. Do me money small, I go walk ball just to give them all. 'Cause I love them sweet Tobago
Tobago, we bringing back the sweetness of Tobago. The darkness will be removed from Tobago. The PNM has shattered Tobago over the last 18 years. Ansel Dennis has failed and flopped. The PNM has flopped so much so that they're balling. You all want change, Tobago? Well, you can get change without changing the PNM. Really, Ansel? Hear this. Oh, Lord, wait, don't play the pan yet. Oh, Cocky, you tease me there, but that sound like Despas, boy. Who's that? Oh, it's Despas. Wait, Cocky, wait. Let me take a few more calls and to tell the police across Trinidad and Tobago, they have parties going on and people are being disturbed and people are calling the police to report noise, party and rhyming all over the place, and the police just saying, call the EMA. Are you really serious? In a COVID-19 pandemic? That's why you need a commissioner of police, because there's no direction. Jacobs, tell me don't walk with Jacob, because Jacob does walk and shake up, boy. All of a sudden the bodies are all in your ears. You have 3 salary going home and you're not doing your work because people are suffering, dying and being abused by others. The bandits take over this country. Police, do your work. There's to be no partying and fetting and noise making. All you is to shut down that. What you feel it is? 218-7762. 218-7762. 1 or 2 calls. And I see my boy. Cocky, you're good, you know. Cocky D, you're good, boy. Cocky D. Oh, Lord. Your fingers, you find that shit. What year is that? 2018? Yeah, for love. That when I win. Oh, God. That when I... third place. I win 20. When it was I win, boy. I had 10 years in the wilderness and then I win. But it's all right. No, I'm taking my third place. You don't I like that year for love. This is the year for love where we remove the PNM heartless Prime Minister and all who support him. No love in the heart, not even for the outside children. Any man who would have children and distinguish from the inside to the outside had to be a man without love. A man who would not take care of his people, who would force his people to suffer, who would bring death upon Tobago through COVID-19. A man who say he born in Tobago, bunks a lady with a golf cart and sit down, stuck with Evo stick and wouldn't come out and pick up the lady and help her and take her to the hospital and message her and call her. What kind of man is that? That's a money coup. 218-7762. Take 1 or 2 calls and then it's time to head home on a Friday. I going home and stay by my send me one and all. You give me no Delta, nah? Delta. The only good Delta is a plane. You could go and fly. Talking about plane, you know Carl just bringing them Max, them plane that crashed 2 years ago. You know them still buy them thing? We go talk about that another time. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening. I have to put me on the line. Please to put me on the air.
You're on the air.
Okay, later then.
All right, later. If you call you 97.5 hot like pepper, you're going on the air. That's what we do. So if you're afraid to be on the air, don't call there. Hello, good evening.
What?
Why?
I'm calling from Belmont.
Oh, Lord, Belmont. Oh, Lord, how you going, Belmont? My father grew up in Belmont.
Yes, I want to tell you that Mr. Jacob.
Yes?
That is Rowley twin brother.
Now, Jacob is so ugly.
Yes. What should he use there to the front of the news there?
Yeah, but he that ugly, Rowley red ugly, you know. Rowley ugly from the inside out. All right, man.
Yeah, man, you say good night to Cocky there for the
Yeah, look, Cocky.
Good night.
Yes, man.
Yeah, and play a melody for you.
All right, we're going to play some sweet Despas pan for you. You used to hear it emanating from the hills above you. But no more, you will hear it from the flat because the PNM have lost the hills. Okay, my brother. Bless you.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Well, boy, it's been a good week, Corky D. You've done very well. We will continue to educate, to discuss. On this DouglAR radio, we talk We bring it in a form and fashion that will entertain you, but they are very serious issues for our nation going forward. And if we don't save the soul of the nation now, we've gone through forever. It will be impossible to recover if we don't deal with it now. Tobago will deal with it. And then in Trinidad, local government elections moving forward, we will deal with it. And I can tell you as a United National Congress senator and supporter of Kamala Persad-Bissessar, I am telling you all, do not vote for us because our jersey is yellow and look good. Do not vote for us just because you always vote UNC. Vote for us like the lady from Cocorit because you want gate that Fazal Karim was to give in to your children 800 million extra per year for all different types of education, tech, voc, elderly people could go back to school and so on. If you believe in education opportunities, then vote UNC, vote Kamala. If you believe in PAN and culture, vote Kamala because she put more money into PAN, into the investment, into carnival, into diversification, into calypso, into soca, whether it was the prize money, the trophies, the investment, the opportunities, the advertisements. Kamala was for culture. If you believe in sport, then you have to vote Kamala because Kamala put a minister of sport who loves sport, education, 106 schools. If you saw in Debe, Ramai Trace Hindu School, it was Bush. What a disgrace. Rudan Munilal went down there with Archie and we saw the video. It's up on DouglAR Politics. Ridiculous. It was 90% complete in 2015 and the PNM has left it to be overgrown with Bush, Snake. It's unbelievable taxpayers' money being wasted by the PNM. So vote for UNC based on intelligence, based on policies, based on fixing problems, foreign direct investment, across the board, new age energy, renewables, the environment, health and safety. We're getting ready to put Despas on. Cocky, come off that phone. Tell them good night. We will talk to them next week, Monday. You're coming in with the Despas. Desperados, Cocky. Cocky, bring the Desperados.
Oh my gosh, yes, the ladies are holding the flag. And then this was the guy who called on curse last night. He's saying he's sorry now.